Okay, so this video is going to show you the steps that I take to ensure I can connect to a remote workstation via TeamViewer, and the settings I like to have in place to ensure that the TeamViewer is easy to connect to and that the computer stays on in between sessions. So we'll start by just looking at the setup for TeamViewer, and for that I'll just go into our remote computer here. And I brought up the TeamViewer interface, the TeamViewer window, and within that I just go to Extras, Options, and on Options I just go to Security, and then here I can set myself a password, a personal password for unattended access. In this instance I've also granted myself easy access to the computer. Generally, for computers that I'm not connecting to on a regular basis, I won't need to set that, or I don't choose to. So the only other thing that I want to ensure then is that for this computer it stays on. So for that I just go to the remote control setting here, and I ensure that the Start TeamViewer with Windows box is ticked. That means that in the event the computer has to restart, a TeamViewer will restart once Windows has restarted. So it just ensures that it's always on, basically. As I said, the other option, then the grant easy access, isn't always necessary. It just depends on how frequently I connect to that device. So that's the TeamViewer bit taken care of. So the other bit to consider then is the power settings on the computer. So this device that we're connecting to right now is a server, in which case we'll see that there is an option here, change when the computer sleeps. And I just ensure that the display can turn off after a few minutes. That's fine. We're going to protect or save the monitors if the display can turn off. However, the computer itself the setting for sleep should be never. Okay, so on this device we're ensuring that this computer never goes to sleep. And just to illustrate then that different computers will have different setting options available. On this device we'll see that there is an option to say when the display turns off, but there is no option to say when the computer will turn off. This is a server, which means that it's generally or always on, so that'll kind of ensure that it stays on. Here's another server. This one actually does have a sleep setting. So again, we're just in the settings, and the screen can turn off. Well, in this case, we could say the screen can be turned off after a few hours, perhaps. However, the device itself will never go to sleep. And on a laptop, then things may be slightly different. In this instance, a laptop can be in two states. It was either drawing power off of its battery or drawing power from the mains if it's plugged in. So in the case of the screen on this device, I've said that if it's on battery power, the display stays on for 2 hours. If it's on plugged in, the display never turns off. Now again, we could kind of reset that down if we wanted to. There's no real issue there. As far as the sleep mode is concerned, though, while on battery, it's going to go to sleep after 2 hours, and that's fine. We kind of want to preserve the battery as well. When it's plugged in, however, we want it to stay on permanently. So again, the setting there is never for that. So that's more or less it. We just want to ensure that for any device that we connect to, we have those two settings, that we have the options and security set, and we have the power settings to ensure that the device stays on for us. There are a few other settings then within TeamViewer that you might consider, but it's not critical, such as if I go to the TeamViewer icons up here at the top of the window, I can choose whether or not to hide the wallpaper and whether or not to show the remote cursor. Now that's just for the session, so it's only if you're getting into support with the client, or you want the client to interact and point at things on screen, it's important that you can see their cursor for that to happen. That's it.